And Todd, I felt like he was kind of over it.
Yeah.
But he was the first guy to ever be intense with me. Because I had never had that before. And I remember that I made a recipe for you. It was like, hey, copy down this recipe. The first time they were like, where's your notebook? And I'm like, what? They're like, you need a notebook. So I was like, oh, okay. I never had a notebook before, right? So I get my notebook.
I got a trapper keeper in the car.
He gives me the recipe, and I fucking weigh out it was a quarter cup. So I took a pint container, and I filled it up, to what I think a quarter cup was. And he basically just like slapped it out of my hands. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, weigh it out correctly. And that's the first time that I was like, wow, this is important to this man.
Yeah.
And he's not even the fucking chef here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that let me know that, like, if this guy's willing to fucking die and or get punched in the face, because you know what I'm saying, like nobody ever talks to me like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't take that very well, and at that time I was kind of taken aback by it. But then I quickly learned that day. I was like, I guess this, I need to do this in order to, because I knew who Marco Pierre White was, and I was like, at some point, you need to learn hard lessons. Yeah. And I think if this is the guy that's going to teach me the hard lessons, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
You worked with Anthony and Todd for how long before I showed up? It's like a year and a half.
It was probably at least a year and a half. Yeah. It was just us three on the line.
You were on meat.
Yep.
Todd was garmage pastry, which was fucking hard.
It was a hard station.
Yeah. And the fact that man could do it by himself was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot.
And fucking Anthony was on entremet.
Anthony, all entremet for all the dishes.
Fish, meat.
And did pasta.
Yeah,
and
made all the pasta.
And sauce. And I was fabricating all the meats, sous vide all the meats, doing
plus
all the butchery.
P&L and fucking costing.
Plus running the business.
Yeah. So
and schedules and all the shit.
Yeah. So what was your what was the dream when you opened up Toulouse? Was it like we're gonna fill this restaurant every night? Did you have a 5-year plan where you were like, I'm gonna run this for 5 years and I'm gonna fucking hand it off to somebody, open up another restaurant?
Yeah. No, we didn't have that kind of 5-year outlook. We knew that we wanted to come here and do simple bistro-ish food.
It was
approachable.
It was approachable fine dining. It was like bistro plus.
Yeah.
That's what I felt it was.
And we knew we wanted to do that, but then we quickly realized that we weren't going to make it financially with that setup.
Yeah.
So we knew that our goal was to get to the 6 course, get to the 10 course, or get to the 12 course.
Yeah.
And keep people in their chairs for longer and make sure that their check averages were higher. To do less people would have them spend more when they were with us. Like, we always knew that was the goal. It was just so hard to really get there. So if I could rewind it a little bit to your first day, I would love to fucking talk about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because this is not about me. This is about you. Fucking little David Galati. I don't remember the month. I know it was the summertime, or peak summertime, like right before peak summertime.
Was it? I remember it winter, but I was smoking a lot of weed then, so I don't know.
Maybe it was spring.
It was a little cold. I know I was wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, and pajama pants.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking pajama pants. But anyway, so you show up, right? And I think you just showed up. You just showed up at the back door. And you got dreads to your ass. You got a hoodie on. You got pajama pants on. Probably like checkered Christmas pajama pants on.
Checkered green pajamas, baby.
Probably.
Wore one pair for all 4 years of
college. Flannel pajama pants. And like, I don't even remember what shoes you were wearing, right? And so you come in, you're like, hey, my name is this, whatever. Are you guys hiring? I was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? Like, meanwhile, like, I'm like super, like, everyone's wearing a chef coat. We're professionals here.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fuck is this guy? So anyways, so I think that I actually, because you had the balls to just show up, I think I let you stay that day.
Well, I got a stage with you, and you were like...
I told you to come back.
You were like, you're not dressed for vacation, obviously, so you need to fucking get some black pants, black socks.
Yeah, you came back. I remember you came back. Yeah. So that day, I remember you spent the day with us, and I could tell you were green in some ways, right? And I could tell you were nervous. You were shaking. But you have that shaky.
I already have it. Yeah, I still have it to this day.
You're
that's
shaky
just what it was. Yeah.
And so I remember, I always was a big fan of trying to give someone a not a mystery basket, but a chance to show themselves, a chance to show me how they like to cook.
Mm-hmm.
And since everything was timed in the kitchen, I always felt that it was important for people to cook in a timely fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would time them, just as I timed you, I think.
They gave me 30 minutes.
Yeah, and you fucking made risotto. And you split the risotto like fucking 6 times.
Oh, yeah, you watched the whole fucking thing. That was the worst part about it. It's like, cook me this thing, and then you just watched me. I was like, fuck.
And, yeah, I remember Anthony saying to you, like, don't cook risotto.
Yeah, he did.
Or something like that.
He did say that. He's like, are you sure? And I was like,
yeah, I'm going to cook risotto. I'm going to cook risotto, which is a very humble dish.
Yeah,
right?
it is, yeah.
But it's easy to fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you split the risotto probably 6 or 7 times, meaning, like, got it too hot, too much butter, and it splits.
A little bit more water.
A little more water, and then bring it back, and then add more butter, and then keep cooking it, right? And then like, okay, it's back, and then all of a sudden, then you turn around, you're doing something else, you turn around, it's fucking split again, right? Like, I could tell, like, you wanted it so bad. You wanted it so bad, but you just had the technique in.
Yeah.
Right? I knew that. So we sat down afterwards, and I was like, that was definitely the worst dish I've ever eaten in my life. And you were like, wow, really? I was like, yeah, pretty much fucking terrible. Unedible.
That was the first time that I've had serious review from someone that was like, that sucked. You know, because you cook for your parents, like, that's great. I was like, come on.
Yeah, and I was just like, this kid's terrible. This kid sucks. Like, there's no way. Like, we can't even use him.
Yeah.
Know? And I think at that time I'd already had a conversation with Todd, maybe, or whatever, that he was leaving. So I was like, all right, like let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So I said to you, I was like, listen, I'll hire you, but the only way I'm going to hire you is if you cut your hair. I was like, that fucking hair is too much.
Yeah, it's got to go.
Yeah. So you left, and I was for sure, because you had been talking about, I'd been growing this hair all 4 years of culinary school. Like, you know, you were proud of it. And I appreciate your hair now.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm into it. But you know, I was like, this kid's not fucking coming back.
Yeah.
There's no way he's gonna cut 4 years of dreadlocks off of his head.
Yeah.
And you fucking showed up the next day in chef whites with a notebook, black pants, fucking cook shoes, black socks, and a bald ass head.
Yeah. My head hadn't seen the sun in like...
It was all wrinkly, I remember.
Yeah, it was wrinkly from twisting the dreadlocks.
And I was just like... And one of the servers says, he fucking actually did it, Remy. He actually did it. I was like, God damn it, I gotta hire this fucking kid. You know? And he walked in, and I was like, dude, you cut your hair? He's like, yeah, I want this. And I was like, get serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's go for it. Let's do it. And I think it was either in 12. I think you started in 12.
Yeah.
Beginning
2012, yeah. Beginning of 12.
Yep. And then the rest is history. You know?
Well, actually, I worked the summer of 11 because I graduated that year. You
11.
let me have my graduation, yeah. And then...
you came with your mom.
No, I didn't come to you. That was Ben. I just was like, hey, I got to do this graduation shit.
That's right.
Like, great, fine. I was working at Trattoria still.
Yeah,
I had like 4 days. I did 2 days, and I started prepping the taco cart. Which, you know, I know now why you started it, but at the, you know, when they told me, like, hey, you got to prep these tacos, I'm like, is this a test to see if I'm good enough to cook the fucking fine dining foods? I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get good at this, and then hopefully. And I remember the first day was like I showed up at 7, and you're like, we got to get on the road by 9:30. You got to get beans cooked, salsa made, all that. And I fucking drained the liquid from the beans. And that was when you were like, the liquid has flavor too. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I just ended up adding water, and I made really watery beans, so you like had to smash them all and refry them and like make them good. And I was like, all right. But I remember that day was like super stressful because you were going to taco cart all fucking day.
Yeah.
Todd was prepping the meat at that point, and then you were coming back working service, and like
yeah. So we realized that we needed another stream of revenue, so we started the mobile taco.
Yeah, mobile taco cart at the farmer's market
thing at the farmer's market's doing.
Yeah.
Carne asada, doing carnitas, doing like the shit I grew up with.
Yeah.
Because there was none of it around. So,
exactly.
And that took off. But yeah, man, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have come through, to the long things that would get their shit crushed.
Yeah.
On a 14-hour day, and then close down, and then we would start
prepping the fucking tacos again.
The fucking carne asada.
It was a few times, dude, where I would, because I was in charge of it, right? I'd leave, go home, smoke weed, take a shower, hang out for 2 hours, about to lay my head to rest at 3 a.m., and then I realized you didn't fucking prep the pork. And you lived fucking on the 3rd floor. So I would sneak back in the middle of the night and like open everything super quietly, open all the windows so I didn't have to turn on the hood, and like sear the meat and get it in the fucking oven and basically leave it like I never even was there. But I remember a couple times I had to sneak back in for just forgetting.
That's
it's
hilarious.
Just like, you're not organized.
No.
When I got there, I was not organized at all. You're like, you need a notebook. I was like, oh yeah, you need a notebook. And then, so... But I remember the first day on the line, it was the first time when anybody had actually put their hands on me and were like, hey, you need to move like this. Like, put your fucking elbow in and like hold the saute pan with this hand. Your towel never touches the table. And like there was testaments and there was rules.
Yeah.
And there was no rules where I came from. So I liked it because I was like, I had lived in college for 4 years. There was 4 years of no rules, free for all, did whatever I want. You know what I mean? And it was form again. And I was like, wow, like someone's fucking, reprimanding me like my fucking mom would. You know what I mean? Like this person cares about what they do.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a cool environment to be in, and Ben Bloom helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
Anthony Guarnieri. I actually told the story the other day of how I got arrested. I got we finish up a night at Tallulah's. I'm with Ben. I'm giving him a ride back and forth. We're commuting. It's winter.
From Providence to Newport, which is
and at this point,
drive.
You didn't know this, but I was hustling a lot of weed.
Yeah.
And I had gotten robbed a couple years earlier, and I was still paranoid about it. So I would drive to Newport, Rhode Island with these pounds of weed in my trunk. And because I figured, I was like, well, if they're close to me and Newport's safe, nothing's going to happen. But if I let them in Providence, I was afraid someone's going to break in and take them, and like, that's all my money. Yeah. That was before I started, like, I'm not doing this anymore because I got to cook now, And so I leave your place after we had some shift drinks, and I'm fucking smoking a joint. I'm with Ben, who's religious, doesn't do any of that. I fucking get pulled over on the Jamestown Bridge for my plate light being out. And as soon as they open the window, they're like, it smells like weed, step out of the car. And the ladies ask, Ben, get out of the car. And I'm like, he's religious. He doesn't do anything. Trust me, he's fine. Cops leave him alone. And then she's like, do you have anything in the car? Searches the whole fucking car. And then underneath my driver's seat, I had 3 joints rolled, like ready to go. Because that's the way, like,
of course.
The worst part about smoking weed in an illegal state is having to roll it and like stop, like, where are you going to roll it? Where are you going to, But so I would roll them at home and I'm already ready to go, pre-rolls. And so she found them, and then she fucking was like, I thought you didn't have anything in your car. And then I lifted my hands from the trunk to be like, to argue with her, basically. Like, I'm not lying to you, I just had them there from before. Fucking dude comes from behind me, slams me on the car. They slap the cuffs on me and take me. And I'm like, the last thing, I was like, I plead to you, please let Ben Bloom take my car. Don't impound the car. Because if they would have impounded it, they would have found the fucking pound. And then he was like, they let him take the car. So I took the car, and I got arrested in Jamestown. I had work the next day with you, and that was like maybe my 5th